Hey everyone, my name is Danilo Petrovic.
I'm Ilya Marchenko.
I'm Denis Kudla.
I'm Evgeny Donskoy.
I'm Henry Laaksonen.
I'm Peter Torebko, and you're listening to the Game to Love podcast.
It's another trophy for this remarkable young Norwegian. A fifth ATP Tour title this year.
It's a master in Miami and the first from Poland to win a Masters 1000.
You are the first Italian to lose to a final here at Wimbledon. Sunday is a big day for Italian sport. Congratulations.
Rublev is the champion in Rotterdam. The Russian claims a fourth 500 series event in a row.
You try to describe your feeling reaching at 22 years old, your first ever Grand Slam final here with Roland Garros, an incredible achievement.
It is a fifth Masters 1000 title for the German, who is just brimming with confidence right now.
Unbelievable mastery of this home court.
Ladies and gentlemen, your champion, Daniil Medvedev.
He has done it. Major title number 20. One chase is over. He's caught Roger and Rafa.
Hey, welcome back, tennis fans. It's the Tour Finals. They are upon us once more. Hope you like the intro. That's a little bit of a taste of what we're going to be seeing over the next few days. We got the best 8 players on the tour from 2021. They're going head to head to find out who is going to end up the champion for the first time in Turin in Italy. How are you doing, JG?
Yeah, well, not the best, mate. I'm not very well. I've been in bed all day, but I'm bringing myself out for this one because it is a big podcast. Like you say, ATP Finals time. It's come around again, sort of signaling the end of another year, and it's been a fantastic year. We're going to get into all of the highlights of the year when we do sort of a roundup show later on. In I think next month time we'll be doing that. But now we do have a big event in the ATP Finals. Great intro, by the way. That's the first time I've seen the intro. I really liked how you sort of brought all the players in and some nice overlays. So good job there, Ben. No. And as you can see, we've got the 8 players right above us, right here. Who's going to win it? We'll be finding out on this podcast according to Game to Love, our thoughts, if that means anything to you. But before we get into our predictions, let's just go through some of the logistics of the event. Of course, it is going to be in Turin. That's a new venue for this one. We're used to seeing it in the O2. Is that actually Turin you've got there?
Yeah.
So what's that when there was just...
Well, I'm guessing there's just
online.
There. Oh. Yeah, exactly. So it's interesting, though. Quite a nice little graphic there. It's going to be very interesting because the fact that we're now playing in Italy, no more London. And we do have an Italian in the ranks there, obviously Matteo Berrettini. No Yannick Sinner. He didn't quite make it there, fell down at the final hurdle, it would seem. But there are some really good other players that have taken his place. Hubie Hurkacz being one of them. Casper Ruud, as you saw in that intro, 5 titles. Yep. Quite an incredible year he's had. And I don't think he would have seen himself in these tour finals at the beginning of this year, that's for sure.
It is a different kind of tour finals. I know there's been a lot made of the group of 8. I've seen it on Twitter. There's been obviously all the images going around. I think maybe we can show one of them. I know you've got some there of sort of the different images of the 8 of them.
This one.
There we go. Yeah, that would do. So you've got them here. And it's just like there's so many historic photos in the past. Some people are a bit negative on this, saying, well, is this really what the future of the sport is? But I think you've got to give these guys a chance. It's quite refreshing to see so many young faces.
Yeah.
But right in the middle, Novak Djokovic still doing it. He's still there, still number 1, and probably the one to beat still after beating Medvedev recently in Paris. So that's just credit to him. And I'm, for one, I'm not negative about it. I like this. it is disheartening not to see Rafa there. Of course, I'm a big Rafa fan. He's not done great at them anyway, so it's not the biggest loss. No Federer. He's someone who does very well. And it's just, I think we just got to get used to it. It's just going to be a new look of tennis, and that's the way it's going to be. And just embrace it, because I feel like eventually we'll probably be looking back on this photo, say like 10 years time, and I think we'll have a lot more respect than what we do now for these guys.
Well, for sure. And I've noticed there's some people coming out, speaking out against people like Casper Ruud and Hubert Hurkacz and saying this isn't the level of competition that they want in there. He's won 5 titles.
It's on merit. You've got to remember. Yeah. It's based off what they've done this year. So you can't take it away from any of them. They deserve to be there.
Well, Hubie Hurkacz, the first ever Polish Masters 1000 champion. That's nothing to be sniffed at. And Casper Ruud sort of come out the blue, really, and just won 4 clay court titles, albeit 250s. And then everyone's saying, oh, he's just a clay court merchant. So he added a hard court tournament on the end in San Diego just to prove that he's not just and beating, bear in mind who he beat in the final, Masters champion, Indian Wells champion Cam Norrie. He bageled him and did it 6-2, 6-love in the final. So I don't think you can say too much negative about Casper Ruud. He's just had a good season. That's why he's there.
No, agreed, mate.
Look at Djokovic, though, in the middle. I mean, it's so weird.
Yeah, still doing it, isn't he?
It's like looking like a short guy, right, in between all of these giants. I mean, you see,
it's only because of he's been put in between Zverev, Berrettini, Medvedev, and Tsitsipas. Like, you can see the ones at the end next to Rublev, who look quite big.
Hurkacz as well, still pretty big.
Yeah, I think, true.
But I think he's still about 6'2", but look, he's like the baby brother, isn't he?
I think we need to talk about it as well. Out of all of the looks, which sort of look are you swaying towards the most? Who's the best dressed?
I don't know. I quite like Casper Ruud's get up. I think it's not too bad. It's fairly cash, but it's like quite smart as well. I'm not too sure on the roll necks though. I'm not a big roll neck fan.
Mate, the roll necks are in.
Are they?
And listen, I'd have to go with Berrettini. I like the Berrettini
I knew you would.
the most.
Yeah, I thought he just looks like he's come out of catalogue for me. So,
what about the Medvedev look? Is that for you or not?
I don't mind it. It's like a little bit like it reminds me like a high school movie or something or a college movie from the US, like a American Pie or something. He's the I don't know, the main the quarterback for the team or something, walking with the trophy. And Rublev's is mate who's not really in the picture. There's a big gap between him and the rest of them. What's going on? Has he got a problem?
That cues me on nicely then. So Andrei Rublev has spoke about this event, and he's saying that he feels there's a bit of distance between him and everyone else in terms of ability. I think he feels like he's there just for the ride. He doesn't actually believe in himself that he can win the event, which I thought was a bit... He didn't use them words exactly, but that's the way you can sort of read into what he said. I know someone's probably got the exact quotes. I don't have them to hand, but he was just saying the likes of Medvedev, Zverev, Sissypass, they've shown what they're able to do at this level, at this particular event, all winning it before. And he doesn't feel like he's quite there at the moment. Of course, he's going to do his best, but he doesn't feel like he's at that level, which I would agree with.
Results. I think you've got to be a realist in your tennis career. As much as it's good to have the dizzy heights, the dizzy dreams, he has lost 4 out of his last 5, Rublev, coming into this tournament. So he's not in good form, that's for sure. But he's got a good chance, I still think. If he turns up and we see some of his actual top tennis, he's still got an opportunity to beat somebody. Remember how close he was here last year wasn't it, against Sissypass? I think he was match point or something away.
True, yeah.
But then because he lost that one, he was completely out of it. But he might have had a chance of going through had he won that, because didn't he win the last game? I'm not sure, against Dominic team. Can't remember now. Anyway, but it was very entertaining last year, but Medvedev was rampant, dominant. Yeah. So this year, I think it'll be closer. I think it's going to be closer this year. I think so as well. But it's exciting. Shall I move on to the next slide here? I wanted to go through some of the past winners, if we could.
We'll go on that, and then we'll go through some of the other ones. Let's go past winners first. We usually do on these draw previews.
Yeah.
And as I've said, Medvedev, Tsitsipas, Zverev, they're the 3 who are still in it, who won the last 3. Dimitrov, he's not going to be at the event. That was a bit of a strange final, that one in 2017. With Goffin in the finals as well. We've not seen anything really like that since. And before that, Djokovic went on a dominant spell, winning 4 in a row. Andy Murray stopped him from getting number 5. But yeah, it's been sort of
number 6.
It's always been the big faces, mate. No,
Whoa.
number 6 is it?
Yeah, I mean, look at.
No, I mean number 5 in a row.
Oh right, yeah, you got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting though, isn't it, that the last 5 years, well, the last 5 years, no one from the big three's won it. Which Andy Murray could have been classed as the big four. That was obviously his big year, 2016, where he was really on top of the world. But I think it's quite interesting. Even Djokovic has been in the final as well, but still not managed to do anything. And we got Dominic Thiem here. He's been in the last 2 finals. He's not going to be here this year, obviously.
Listen, mate, looking at this, this graph, I'm telling you now, I would have picked Thiem. If he was in this event and relatively fit, I would have probably picked him to win this. Just like sort of reading into the analytics of the event and how he's performed the last few years. He's been very good and a little bit unlucky. You can see how close they were the 2 finals.
Yeah, very
Some
close.
tie breaks sort of settling it. And that's why I would have picked him had he been in this year. But of course, he's not played at all and he's not in a good way with injuries and stuff. But that's definitely a fascinating look at some of the past winners.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's interesting. Obviously, Djokovic will be going for number 6 to try and tie with Roger Federer there to have the most ATP Tour final wins, and that's one of the only things he doesn't have on his resume at the moment. He would love to get that, and he's in a good position to get it. So move on to the next one. We've got one sec. Right, so we got Youssef here.
So only 5 years ago, none of these players were at the ATP finals except for Djokovic. A new generation has taken over, yet Djokovic's dominance still remains all the same. The Don.
There he is.
He's like leading them out.
Well, yeah, he's in the middle, isn't he? So it's quite interesting. Obviously, Medvedev carrying the trophy as the reigning champ, though. Yeah, it's pretty mad that he's just a consistent thing, which is always there. Right, the next one. I know this one was quite an interesting one that you sent to me.
I don't really like it, but I feel like it definitely does bring some controversy and something to discuss. And Marc Rosset, obviously, he's a Swiss tennis player, won the Olympics. I'm going to say 92, but I can't remember exactly. And he's saying here, at the ATP finals, people want to watch Nadal, Federer, Murray, Wawrinka, not guys who qualified, but winning ATP 250s. Did Ruud go far in any of the majors this year or Hurkacz, except for Wimbledon semi-finals? Does he have a point? Is this right of him to say this, or is he being a bit harsh?
I mean, I can see where he's coming from, but we're trying to break into a new era at the moment. You've got to remember that. And unfortunately, like, these people aren't. You can't always have Grand Slam champions. We've got what do you call it? You've got Zverev. He's made 2 Grand Slam semi-finals. You've got Berrettini, was a Grand Slam finalist. Sissypass, Grand Slam finalist. Hurkacz, Masters champion. And Casper Ruud, we just said he's just been on a storming run. He's probably the only one you could allude to that he hasn't won high-ranked events. But I think the amount of tennis he's played, that's difficult to do. You can't just win tournament after tournament after tournament and play that many matches and win them. It's not easy still. Your body might give up. His hasn't. And he's here to tell the tale still. So I can see it, but I think you've got to let some other players grow as well. I don't think you can just be harsh on someone. They've worked their socks off to get to this place. Don't crush their dream before it's even begun.
The reason why I don't agree with anything he's saying in this is the fact that this event, to get into it, it's not a case of, oh, you're getting a wild card, you can get in because of this, you've won this, or in the past, or you've got history here. It's done purely on how well you perform in the year. So we've been following this race the whole season. We've always been talking about it on the podcast, and it's quite a fascinating battle to see who gets it. And it's fair. It's 100% fair. It's whoever gets the most points. Casper Ruud, he elected not to go to the Olympics, and instead he picked up a few titles, didn't he? Was he playing on clay at the time or something?
Yeah.
And by doing so, it's allowed him to get into this stage. So fair play to him. I think that's smart. I think more players should look at doing stuff like that, because he's now been presented with a great opportunity. And not just that, he's also been awesome all year. Yeah. And played some really exciting tennis. I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to beat one of these top guys, one of the remaining 7. I don't think he's going to probably advance from the group, but he might get a win.
He's had an incredible year. There's so much green on his record, and he's beaten good players as well. He's beaten, likes of Dimitrov, Andy Murray, Cam Norrie, Sissypass, Diego Schwartzman, Cilic. Like, the list is endless. Like, the amount of players he's actually beaten this year. And that's on hard court I'm talking about. I haven't even gone to the clay courts yet because he's even better on the clay. And he's beaten countless people anyway. He did well in Madrid. Obviously beat Sissypass. They went out to Berrettini, who was the eventual finalist. But this, I think, a little bit hypocritical. Mark Rossett, he's saying, oh, did Ruud go far in the majors this year? Or Hurkacz, except the Wimbledon semi-final. And this is from somebody who only ever made one semi-final in their career. So I don't think you can be too hypocritical on these players when you...
It's not coming from a Grand Slam champion, so I don't really understand why he's being so harsh, if I'm honest.
The Grand Slam doubles champion for the French Open.
Yeah, I think we've given him enough limelight now, Mark.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next thing. I don't know if you've got anything about the big three. I think I did send something. It might be the next one. No, next one after that. Yeah, here we go. So total Grand Slam singles won by the field. In the WTA finals, there's 4. In the ATP finals, there's 21. And 20 of them are from Djokovic. So obviously only Medvedev winning one. It is very strange. I think there was another one I sent you as well. It's only the second time since all of the... no more than 2 of the big 3 have been in the event. I made a hash of them words. I did send it to you. I don't know if you've got it there.
Let me just... I've got it here. Let me just... it was just gone missing, that one.
So since 2000, because this will be able to read it a lot better. My mind's not in the stage to be thinking and reading. I'm very, very ill. Since 2007, at least 2 or 3 of the big 3 have been present at the ATP Finals every year except 2, 2016 and 2021. So it is definitely a kind of turning point. I am very sad that Rafa's not there. I do love watching him at this event, although he's never really winning it or getting that far. But I don't know. I think we just got to embrace what it is. And I think this is just the way tennis is going to become now. I don't think we're ever going to see all of the big 3 play it. And I think I think maybe next year we'll be lucky just to see 2 of them playing then.
To be very lucky. We got to hope.
With injuries and different things going on. Touch wood, none of them do.
Well,
touch wood over there.
There's the injuries, and then there's the lack of matches. Probably that then some of them choosing not to play so many, so you might not get the points that you need to be able to even get to that tour final. You might just be focusing on Grand Slam titles and the Slam race. So
I just want to read this out from one of the people in the chat. We've got Pierino here. Hey guys, I'm in Turin to watch tomorrow and Monday's matches. That's awesome. Hopefully you really enjoy it. Should be fun.
Yeah, it'd be really great fun.
Very jealous. Maybe I think we will probably go. If next year, maybe not, but maybe the year after.
For sure. It's definitely one on the calendar that we're going to have to visit at some point. Go back to your homeland. This was one we probably should have announced maybe sooner, but these are the groups. I'm sure everybody's aware of them already. Then no fancy names in this tournament. Just go in with a green group and a red group on this one. So we got in the green group, Djokovic, Tsitsipas, Rublev, and Ruud. And in the red group, Medvedev, Zverev, Berrettini, and Hurkacz.
I'm getting some Squid Game vibes. Green light, red light, green light.
Maybe that's what they've got. That's why they've gone for it. What do you make of those groups? I mean, there's some people shouting fix. I don't know how you can say that. But do you think it's tougher for Djokovic or tougher for Medvedev?
It's a lot tougher for Medvedev, let's be honest. Like, Djokovic here has been presented with an extremely easy group. And I don't want to be I try and not to be disrespectful to them 3 guys, but Sissypass, the way he's ended the year has not been good at all.
No. Same with Rublev.
I won't be surprised if Rublev and Casper Ruud beat him, if I'm honest. He's just not filling me with much confidence at the moment. Of course, he can turn it on. We know he's a quality player, and I'm hoping he can do. But Rublev, he's ended the year in not great fashion. And I think Casper Ruud as well. For him, the occasion could get to him a little bit like it did with Rublev in the first time. You've got to remember there's going to be fans back in the stadium. It's an indoor hardcore. We know what that can be like. The Italian fans aren't going to be quiet. It's going to be quite similar to Paris, I feel, if not more, because you're going to have all the music, all of the lights. It's a very daunting atmosphere to be in. And I personally don't think Casper Ruud is going to be used to it at all. He's never been in an environment like that. The closest he's been to probably is the next gen ATP Finals with all that lights and stuff. But this is the big boys league. This is another level up from that. And I'm hoping he does well. But let's be honest, Djokovic, I think he gets out of that group and walks it in first place at a canter.
Yeah, well, it looks very, very likely. Let's just put it that way. And the first match of that group is actually Sissypass versus Rublev, the two not informed guys. Sissypass lost 3 out of his last 4. Well, I don't know if you can count the Poprin one. He just sort of pulled out in the first set, but still goes down as a loss on the record. So it is 3 out of 4 he's lost. And Rublev, like I said before, lost 4 out of his last 5. And the only person he's beaten is Ivashka recently. Interesting little stat for those two, though. Last time they played indoor hard was when Rublev obviously won Rotterdam and Rublev beat him 2 sets to love.
Yeah, I remember.
So that was and then the next time they played was in Monte Carlo on the clay, and then 2 sets to love, the Sissypass. So
they've played a lot and it's always quite close. It's hard to call it in recent meetings. Sissypass, I think he's had a better year, but then he's tailed off a lot towards the end and he's slightly injured as well. So
it's a pick 'em.
Who knows? He definitely is carrying some kind of injury. So it's going to be really tough for either of them, any of them 3. But it still makes it quite interesting for the race for second. I think Casper Ruud could be in for a chance. I think
so as well. I think out of the form, if you're going based on form, you'd probably say Djokovic, Ruud, Sissypass, Rublev.
I think so as well. And that's why I hate all this Ruud slander, because, listen, if he gets out the group, you're going to look like a complete idiot, if I'm honest.
No, yeah, exactly.
All the people dissing him, saying he shouldn't be there.
Yeah, hopefully that they can prove Mark Rossett wrong.
Yeah.
So the other group, though, oh, God, I mean, going to get treated to some cracking matches there. I feel sorry for Medvedev because the weakest person in the group is arguably his toughest match, which is Hurkacz.
I thought you was going to say, I feel sorry for the balls, because I do.
Literally. I think it's going to be a very, very hard-hitting, big serving, quick matches, probably in that group, I'd say. Well, look what happened last time Medvedev played Zverev. He absolutely battered him. So is that going to happen again, though?
I think that this group's going to be the ace group. They're just going to be serving up aces. It's going to be a really tough one to call. I don't have a clue, because, like you said, I think you made a good point. Medvedev really struggles against Hurkacz, and he's been drawing him as maybe the easiest player in there, but he's not the easiest for Medvedev, certainly. No. And the Zverev one probably would be his easiest match. I think he does quite well against Zverev, especially in recent meetings. Obviously, just beat him in Paris as well. Berrettini in his hometown, you've got to take that into consideration. Yep. Could he do something special and win this whole group? I think he could.
Well, it's possible. They've only played twice, Medvedev and Berrettini, and Medvedev won both of them. But in Italy, don't rule anything out, I don't think. I think that Berrettini might live up to this occasion. It's going to be rocking. You know what the Italian fans are like. He's the only one there that they can support, really. So
and I think we should move on to some of the stats, because I know we've got them there.
Was it the head-to-head one?
Yeah.
That's one. Right.
So if you click on that one.
So it says the 2020 ATP Finals, how do they compare? Djokovic is the only player to have either a positive or neutral record against everybody else in this year's draw. Doesn't really surprise me. Yeah, I know. Right, so let's just have a quick look at this.
So you've got the green and red, and that's shown by the groups. And then where it's in blue, I believe that shows the potential where they could play in, say, a semi-final.
Okay.
Or final, I think. But it means they could meet again. So do with that as you wish.
Yeah.
Then we start on the Djokovic line. You can see, everything is very favourable. 6-2 against Sissypass. Never lost to Ruud. Never played Rublev. We're finally going to get that match up.
Yeah, finally.
Yep.
Mate, well, that's why I saw some funny memes being sent through in the Discord about Rublev. Will he play Djokovic for the first time, or will he just pull out the tournament 2 buttons? Which one does he press? So, what other ones have we got in here that look interesting? They're quite close to Rublev Sissypass, like you said, 3-4. Rublev Ruud, that's really surprising. It's 4-love to Rublev. I think that could start changing, because he's sort of having the year that Rublev had last year. I know that Rublev won more 500s, but still 5 tournament wins. Rude's had 5 tournament wins as well this year. Who else have we got?
I think Berrettini's one's quite damning. The fact that he's never been able to beat Djokovic, I don't see that changing at all. If they could meet in a semi, say. Same with Sissypass, not been able to do anything there. He's got the better of Rublev, just about. And with Rude, it's very even. So Berrettini's stats coming into this don't look great.
No.
Hurkacz against Djokovic yet again, it's just one-sided. Even against Sissypass, is that a 6-2?
Yeah, the 6-2 down to Sissypass.
And he's beaten Rublev twice, which I find quite fascinating. Hurkacz has got the better of Rublev, and
This
then
is
never
quite
played
interesting,
Rude.
though. In his group, though, Hurkacz, he has an even record against everybody.
Yeah.
So,
which makes him dangerous because he's already shown he can beat them all on his day.
That's crazy, isn't it? That's really interesting, though. I wasn't aware of that, but I am now. I don't know if the Zverev and Hurkacz one's correct because it says 1-0 here and it says 1-1 here. So I think it's 1-0 actually for Zverev. Yeah, they've only played once. I've just brought it up. So they played once. I think this stats are just a little bit wrong. I've made one of these before and made the same error. So just against Zverev it is. He only played once in Madrid in 2019 and it was 2-1. Quite a close one anyway. So
moving on to the next graphic. If you just hit that little arrow, Ben.
Yeah.
Let's see what comes up. So we have here. So this is ATP Finals. So this is their record at the finals. So in the green group, Djokovic, he's played, well, do the maths, what's 38 plus 16?
54.
He's played 54 matches at the ATP Finals and 5 titles. He's got 38 and 16 record. And compared to everyone else, it really does stand out, I must admit, because who's closest to him? Probably Zverev, isn't it? 8 and 7.
So does the age, though. That stands out as well. It's 10 years on everybody, pretty much, other than Medvedev. It's 9. He's like another generation of tennis. It's just strange. But as you can see, when Djokovic eventually disappears from that, everyone will probably be the same age, or we'll have another youngster coming in, and like an Alcaraz maybe, or a Sinner, or someone like that fill in the last spot. That'd be exciting. Might be next year. Looking down there, though, I think Zverev's won. He's got a title, but yeah, he's 8 wins, 7 losses. Medvedev's won. Remember how crazy what his one's made up of, though, is the first time he played the World Tour Finals, he lost every single match and had a 0-3 record. The last time he played it, he won every single match, and so now he's 5-3, which is quite interesting.
So Medvedev, in theory, is the most on form in this event because he's 5 in a row as we speak. So we're counting through the matches here for him. He's going to be really tough to beat.
Very.
Berrettini, he did win a match here in 2019, but went out in the round robin. And that's the same with Rublev, but he did that the year after. And then the 2 debutants, Casper Ruud, Hurkacz. If you had to say out of them 2, who do you reckon would go further out of the debutants? Who's going to have a better ATP Finals in their first try?
That's really tough, actually, to say.
It is a tough question.
Because initially I would just go straight away and just say, I think Ruud. But then I look at Hurkacz and I think, well, I think he could trouble all of the... He's won a Masters this year. He's not any schmuck anymore. I think, and he's obviously beaten Medvedev this year as well. And it's an inch. I think it'd still be Ruud because I still think this occasion might get to Hurkacz a little bit as well. I'm not sure how he might handle this either.
Point,
but
Ruud is the youngest.
Yes, he is. And Hurkacz only lost to Djokovic in 3 sets, really. Very close, but I don't know. It's very tough to say. I'd go Ruud just because on Tsitsipas and Rublev's form. I'm
going to go Hurkacz, and I think he's going to live up to the occasion. He likes playing the big matches, and we've seen it already with Masters titles.
Grinds it out, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, that Masters title he got in Miami.
Yeah, so you're going based upon the reason
and his age as well. A little bit older. I think he's going to be mentally a little bit stronger than Ruud on this big stage.
Yeah, you're going based upon his positives. I'm going based upon other people's negatives in the group. So I'm basing it
quite calm as well. Listen, he beat Federer at Wimbledon. I know it's not the real Federer, but that's a tough thing to do with the whole crowd going against you.
Yeah, I know.
So he can deal with adversity, and I think he can spoil a party. whether that's the Medvedev, Zverev, or Berrettini party. I think he can still do it. He's going to be confident, and I would watch out for Hubie.
He's got that Polish power.
So next arrow?
Next arrow. Oh, this is a 250s, 500s, Masters, Grand Slam, Olympics table.
Yeah, so this is this season. And as you can see, there's 3 players with 5 titles. Djokovic, Ruud, and Zverev. You'd have to say it's got to be Djokovic, of course, with the most impressive, with 3 of them being Grand Slams.
Yeah, it's
and
ridiculous.
1 Masters and 1 250. But I think looking at it, Medvedev, of course, had a great year. He's had a Masters title, a Grand Slam, 2 250s, and Zverev with that Olympic title as well. That's been great for him.
2 Masters, taking
the
him
most
up to,
Masters as well.
Yeah, taking him up to 5 in total, I believe, now for Zverev, which is really good for him. 2 500s as well, just got them under his belt. Vienna one in there. Berrettini, what did he grab? He grabbed one in Belgrade against Karatsev, and then Queens. That was his other one, wasn't it?
Yeah, I've just noticed Hurkacz, the table is slightly wrong. I think that one should be in the Masters and not in 500.
Yeah, it seems whoever was making these tables was screwing.
They run out of energy. No, they just run out of energy. They got through it and they thought, Hurkacz, I'll just put his one anywhere. But,
every time they get
I didn't notice it. The Masters one, that should be there.
Yeah. That's correct. Yeah, he definitely has a Masters. You saw the intro. It was in Miami where he beat Jannik Sinner in that final, becoming the first ever Polish player on the men's side to win a Masters 1000 event.
But Rublev there, only 1 title this year. He had so many the year before and only won 500. It had to be over 500 if he was to win one as well.
Yeah, and it's interesting that 500 that he did win. I tried to add in a little bit of the thing at the beginning, just because that was his 4th consecutive ATP 500 title in tournaments he'd played in. So each one he'd entered, he'd won for 4 in a row. So that's come to an end now, but it was pretty impressive at the time. It seemed like it was the 500 club only for Rublev, but fell off to the back end of the year, though, a little bit, unfortunately. Hopefully he doesn't allow that to affect his confidence coming into this event. I think he's reduced his expectations by the sounds of what you said, which is probably a good thing. Right, let's move on to, do we already have this last one? Yeah, I believe we did. Right, I think we need to get on to some predictions then, mate. I'll bring the groups up. Here we go. Right, predictions time.
I was on mute. I was talking on mute. You didn't even tell me.
Oh, I didn't know you were talking. I thought you were just doing something in the background.
No, it's all good. Prediction time. We'll do it in the usual fashion. First and second, who we think is going to get through, and then semis and obviously the ultimate winner. The first group, the green group, it's easy for me. Djokovic wins the group. I'm certain of that.
Yeah.
Are you going to go the same?
Yeah, I'll go the same. I think he wants this.
And second place...
It's tough, really tough. That's one of the toughest choices of this whole thing. I'm going to go Casper Ruud just to mix it up, just for something a bit shocking.
And I'm going to go for something even more shocking. I'm going to go Rublev. Ooh. I'm going to have Djokovic and Rublev coming out of the group, my number 1 and 2. And in the second group, so the red group, I'm going to go Medvedev to win the group.
I think it's a safe bet. I would go the same.
And I'm going to have...
I know.
This is a real tricky one. I don't actually know. Part of me wants to say Berrettini as like a bit of a wild card option, but his record against them guys don't look good at all.
Nah, it's not good. I think I'm going to go Zverev. I think it's safe, but I think he can beat Berrettini.
So you're going to go Medi and Zverev?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I'm going to go the same. I'm going to go Medi and Zverev. I'm really close to doing Hurkacz, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go Medi and Zverev, which would mean I get Medvedev, Rublev, and Djokovic, Zverev.
So, yeah. So I have Medvedev, Ruud, and then Djokovic, Zverev as well.
And ultimately, I'm going to probably do what a lot of people will be doing. I'm going to have Djokovic beating Zverev, and I'm going to have Medvedev beating Rublev. So I'm going for the number 1, the number 2. They've been training together all week on these courts. They've just played a final in Paris, and I think they're going to be playing another final here, and it's going to be the Djokovic-Medvedev final.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see it going any other way. The only person who might be able to throw a spanner in the works is Hubert Hurkacz, I think, to prevent Medvedev maybe doing it. But I just think he's got the experience now, Medvedev. I don't see him slipping up or letting the occasion get to him, whereas I think the others might. And he'll want to get revenge back on Djokovic again. Well,
so you're going to go for that same final. Do you have the same
God.
winner as me, though, Ben?
Probably not, because I reckon you'll probably be shying towards your man. I'll be shying towards mine. And I'm going to say that Djokovic wants another record. This year, he is the record-breaking Djokovic. He's going to take another record. He's going to get another, a 6th ATP Tour Finals and end the year just with a nice little tick in another box.
Are you not worried about a semi-final against Zverev? He has struggled against Zverev in best of 3. Obviously losing in the Olympics recently as well.
There's just part of me. I saw a change in Djokovic in that Paris tournament. He was fresh. He was ready. He was full of new ideas, full of great tactics. I just don't think that was the same Djokovic in the Olympics or in the US Open. I think we saw a tired Djokovic. I wasn't at liberty to actually want to say he was tired at the time because I thought he could do anything. I thought he was Superman. I realized he's not Superman. He's actually a human being that can tire. So I think he's fresh now, and I think he wants records. So I think he does it. I think he beats him again. It'll probably be 3 sets, but I think he beats Medvedev.
I think it's going to be a battle we're going to see for so many years, Medvedev-Djokovic. And this is going to be another edition of it in the final again. I think Medvedev takes the title, though. I think he's going to get the back-to-back here. He's going to have learned a little bit, I feel, from that last match he played in Paris. And I think he's going to change his game a little bit. And ultimately, Djokovic is going to try and come to the net and volley as much as possible. Medvedev knows he's going to be doing that. So I think he's going to work out a way to beat it. And I think that's what we're going to see here in the Nitto ATP Finals. So I'm going to have Medvedev to win in a very close 3 sets, but that's going to be the case. So roll on the Nitto ATP Finals. Let's have predictions.
Yeah, exciting times, mate. Yeah, if you haven't already, guys, make sure hit the like on the video, subscribe if you're new. We're going to be trying to bring you as many watch-alongs as we can throughout the week. I know some of them are lunchtimes, some of them are evenings, but yeah, we'll be bringing it. Just keep your ear to the ground, hit the bell notification, and you will get notified every time we do go live. So just excited to see it kick off now. The first matches will be Medvedev Hurkacz. Doesn't start any better than that. Then we got Zverev Berrettini. They're both tomorrow. And then on the Monday, we have Djokovic Rude, followed by Sissypass Rublev.
Lovely. Let's wrap it up there. Apologies, you had to look at this today and my voice, but the best we could do. If you haven't already, hit the like button on the video, subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you very soon for Alcaraz Corda.
See you soon.